All right, day 2 or 3, technically 3. Second video. There we go. Got the legs done yesterday over there somewhere. Boop, 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 boop. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it up here, or is it here? Anyway, click that link. That's just putting together and cutting up and down the legs. And today we are going to work on the tabletop. It's going to be made out of 3 different woods, technically. Anyway, the bottom of the top is going to be this birch here. It's 4x8, but we need it to be 5x3, 3x5. If you read left to right. And then I'm going to cut up this guy, 3/4 inch, just construction plywood, to make the supports in the torsion box. And then cherry plywood, where's it at? Right there, 1/4 inch to make the top. Then we're going to cut up some more cherry hardwood to make the lip all the way around. It's going to be about an inch thick total of tabletop, and then the lip will be a little bigger. I'll cut the cherry plywood a little bigger, use a flush cut router bit to even that all up. But let's get to it, see what happens, and go team table. So let's go ahead and get this cut up. I measure what I thought was 5 foot, ended up being 5 foot 4 inches, so measure multiple times, cut once. I went ahead and used my homemade kind of track saw, I guess you would say here, or sled, and I get some tear out at the end. It's a really old blade. It's mostly my fault for the way I cut it, just kind of let it fall. But the tear out's going to be on the inside of the torsion box on the bottom of the table, so no one's ever going to know. It'll be fine. Go ahead and make the long cut here. The curve of the blade has to be taken into account because my fence only goes over 24 inches and I want a table that's wider than 24 inches. So I'll make that cut here. Alright, cut is made, and let's wait for that dust collection to be quiet. So there we go. Awesome. That looks good. So let's get this off the table and then grab the 3/4 inch construction ply, cut that down into strips, and then go from there. I think we should be good. Yeah, we'll make enough. We'll be fine. Okay, I just had to double check. I get nervous when I have to do cuts, keeping that on the outside of the blade, but it's spot on, 36 inches. I shouldn't get nervous with these simple cuts, but I do. I don't know why, but whatever. Measure twice, cut once, the old adage, and then measure at the end to make sure you did the measuring right, I guess. So anyway, here we go. So we'll get this cut into 3-inch strips. Lesson learned here, I should have made the shortcut first on this as well. You'll notice the board kind of deflects at the end, and it gave it a curve that I did not notice when cutting. So whenever I make the side rails to the table, it's got a little bit of a weirdness to it, but I account for it later and get the table pretty straight enough to eat on anyway. So let's go ahead and make sure that I've got all the numbers correct, do some quick maths here, and what I want to do is get those 3-inch strips cut down to make the framework of the torsion box inside of the table. Now we'll go ahead and get that cut. You've got to cut quite a bit of them, so I didn't film it all. Just wanted to give you the idea of what's happening. I went ahead and labeled all of them as well, just in case. I don't know why I did that. When I thought back on it, it's obvious where these pieces go. So go ahead and get the dry fit of the torsion box framework on the bottom part of the top part of the table. I just cut the two short pieces just to get the dry fit, and then I'll make some other cuts to the 3-inch plywood to get the rest of the framework. Here I'm noticing something's a little off. I'm not exactly sure what yet, but I am discovering that it is not 100% square. So I went ahead and just cut the shortest parts of the framework to the length that they needed to be, not the length that I wanted them to be. So I start with the glue up, and this is, again, I never know if I'm using enough glue. It's either too much or not enough, but as long as it sticks together, I guess I'm happy. Now, right here is where I figure out that board is not straight. So I do try to fix it. I cut my shorter pieces there. I don't use PPE on the table saw. Sorry about that, everyone. I should have done that. It was a mistake. Alright, it is brad nailed and glued together for the bottom portion. Now let's cut the cherry top. Now, when I cut this, it was supposed to be 5 foot. I cut the bottom to 5 foot 4 inches. I cut this about an inch bigger all the way around. That way I have some extra wiggle room, so it doesn't have to be 100% straight. I can just get it glued down. Again, is that enough glue? Is it too much? Someone tell me. The board is warped a little bit, so threw some weight on there. Gonna get it clamped down. Now, I'm gonna let this sit overnight. Gonna make sure I get all this the warp out of it and make sure it does stay glued down. With all this cat food and dog food and kitty litter, I can finally say I'm happy to have so many pets. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and we'll do the rest of the build in the next video, or 2 or 3 or 10. I hope you like it. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.